Welcome into the CHGO Blackhawks show powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at ComEd.com/clean. That's right. Mario's paying attention.
I've had 3 coffees
today. Later in the show.
Huh?
Yeah, what
did you send me my name? What are we
Greg
doing?
is wearing.
Greg's too distracted by his own personalized shirt.
Apparently.
Sarah saw Greg's Roosevelt and said, "Is that you on there?" It's like, nope, that's the dude.
It's the same. It's the same. It's
Big Lebowski.
But Addie thought that was me on the sticker, so she's not the first person.
Well, look,
it's not far off. Yeah.
If anyone deserves their own Roosevelt, it is you, Greg
It would
Boysen.
be.
I agree.
You've given several years' salary to
a free Roosevelt.
just one free Roosevelt.
A free one. Yeah.
All right, we've got a lot to get to on this show. As you've probably heard by now, the Hawks are headed back to the Winter Classic. Tyler Johnson's back. Connor Bedard was on the ice again, participating a little bit more than yesterday.
Yep.
So we're going to get to all that stuff. But the big news for us
Personally,
is we are very happy to announce that Thursday at 2:30 on this here show, 2-time Stanley Cup champion Corey Crawford will be joining us here on CHGO Blackhawks. I'm already nervous.
it's gonna be fine.
I'm nervous. I'm nervous about it.
It'll be fine. He won't be in studio. It'll be over video, but it'll be fine.
I need an Olipop to settle me down.
Yeah.
We still doing that? Is that a thing still?
I mean, they still produce them.
I mean, I haven't heard Pete and DJ talk about it in a while. So.
Well, they're damn good. So, this is one of these ones where
it's gonna be awesome.
Corey is an interesting guy. He is a thoughtful guy. He is an intense guy, and I know he's still living around the Chicagoland area, and he's just not been very visible. So with the Ice Hogs retiring his number on Saturday, it's going to be awesome to catch up with him. I'm sure he'll be in a good mood, but there's so many questions to ask Corey Crawford.
And so little time.
And I hope that he finally, and just based on the response from the tweet we sent announcing it, that he maybe will finally feel the love that he has deserved in this town for so long.
Oh, people love Corey Crawford. And he's one of the more underrated players of that Cup run.
Yeah.
I would say at least nationally. In Chicago, I mean, the love for Corey Crawford, the people that, defend him in those discussions about, Hall of Fame or jersey retirement worthy or how elite was he during his time, like the love in the city has always been there. And he's one of those guys, the Tays and Kane, they get all the spotlight, but they don't win 2 of those 3 cups without the way that he played in those postseasons, and should have been the Conn Smythe winner in 2013. I think that's a very lukewarm take, I would say, but yeah, I mean he's a fan favorite, and I'm sure it's not a strategy. Like, he's just kind of the person that probably doesn't jump into the spotlight at every opportunity. But anytime that he is around, like, it is a thing. Like, it is a big deal for Corey Crawford to be around. So, gonna be awesome to get to talk to him.
Yeah, he's not a guy that does a lot of interviews, does a lot of TV. He was the last time I remember seeing him was Marion Hosa's night.
Yeah, he was there for that. He was hanging around. I think it was Riot Fest over the summer.
Yes, he was there. I didn't see him there, but he was there.
There was photographic evidence of him being there.
Yes, him and Scott Darlin, I believe,
they were hanging out
at the Foo Fighters portion with all the other dudes in their white dudes in their 30s and older.
Would have been me. Yeah.
No, I can't wait. Corey Crawford's one of my all-time favorite Blackhawks players, and super excited to be heading out to Rockford on Saturday to see his ceremony and checking in on the Ice Hogs, and Should be good. Got a few questions already in mind.
I don't.
Remember when you made that save?
Remember when you were on the Blackhawks and you won the Stanley Cups?
Remember when you wanted to fight Jonathan Quick? That was awesome.
Oh, we have to ask him about that.
Yeah, it's going to be great. I'm very excited for it. And look,
Which Blackhawks has a punchable face?
Yeah, exactly. By the way, I have it on good authority that outlets have reached out to Corey to employ him to do some media, and he has refused.
Yeah.
So
interesting.
I think refuses.
He has turned it down.
Yeah, right.
Graciously
not
declined.
interested. Right,
Yeah.
right. So I'm excited. I'm curious to see what kind of mood he'll be in, and if he's, seems like a pretty happy-go-lucky guy, beloved by his teammates, but just kind of intense.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm really looking forward to hearing what he has to say about his time here and his time after here when he went to New Jersey for a few weeks and
And then
how that went down. But
quietly just said nope.
and you know what? Really, the interesting thing from a hockey standpoint is going to be picking his brain about goalie development.
Yeah.
And his time in Rockford and in Norfolk for a while, right? He was in Norfolk for a while. Yeah. So
that's how long he took.
yeah, and just how was that beneficial? Did it hurt him in any way? Yada yada. So
Not just
there's a lot
development,
to pick
but just development in general. He's a guy
player
that was on the long-term plan, and it worked out well for him. So I know, we've seen it already this season. Every time Arvid Soderblom struggles, call up Camezzo. No.
pump the brakes.
Not saying he needs to be on the 5-year plan that Corey Crawford was on, but he's definitely on a more than one half a season plan.
Well, the bridge has been built, I think. So
It has been built. There's your timeline. It's almost as if there's a plan for a certain season to really go for it. Almost.
That's true. Yeah, and with Crawford, it's so funny to think like he had his NHL debut was in the if I'm remembering correctly, was in the 06-07 season. He played like 1 or 2 games, but he didn't become a full-time NHL player until the 2010-2011 season.
Right.
So I mean, he was an all rookie his rookie year, but he was like 26. Like it's
26, 27.
it's different, especially for goalies. It's different, but with every player, it's different depending on where they're at in their career, where the organization's at. So yeah, it'd be interesting to get his take on like having that patience of being like drafted to being a professional to eventually getting to the NHL.
It's going to be awesome. Can't wait. It's also going to be awesome in January when the Blackhawks and the Blues play in the Winter Classic at Wrigley Field.
Yes.
I'm really excited about this. It kind of, I thought we knew one would be coming soon for the Hawks. I thought maybe they'd wait till the 100th anniversary season to put them in the Winter Classic. Yeah. But hey, they're here, and of course, everyone around the league is very upset about it.
Mad.
Crying.
Cry
upset.
me some more tears.
Really?
Whatever.
There should be good teams in the Winter Classic. Well, that worked out this year, and it was very lowly rated. No one cared.
The least rated, actually.
Yes.
Least rated Winter
The
Classic
thing.
in the history of the event, which, as Ben Pope pointed out in his report today, Connor Bedard's debut game against the Penguins, which we were in attendance for, outdrew the Winter Classic, I think, almost 3 times.
Yeah, it was a big a lot more people watched that game than the Winter Classic. And yes, granted that the Winter Classic this year, the Michigan-Alabama playoff game started while that was on. That has a lot to do with it too. But whatever.
Yeah.
This one's going to bring in a lot more viewers, and that's the idea.
Right.
Like, okay, all the people that I saw on social media today crying about it, not just fans. We got beat writers from other teams, beat writers that used to cover this team that are very, very upset that their current team isn't included. I'm sorry that your team is in an inferior town, doesn't have an historic ballpark, and one of the best young players in the league that is marketable. Yeah. Get all 3 of those, and maybe you'll get a Winter Classic. Until then, sit there and watch the Blackhawks again, and, as the kids say, deal with it.
Yeah. Is it Cope and Seethe? Is that the new one? Cope and Seethe. I see that a lot online.
Cope and Seethe?
Cope and Seethe.
Seethe.
Is a new thing that the millennials say.
Cope and Seethe? Is that a comeback for the kids?
All right.
I don't know.
Well, I've seen it. I've seen
Cope and Seethe. All right. I don't know.
Sarah's too nice. She doesn't infuriate people.
She doesn't
online.
have the angry social media.
According to our guy Alexander
Yeah.
in Portugal, you have a grudge for him. Is this true? Can we get to the bottom of this, Sarah? Do you have a grudge against Alexander in Portugal? He has this Discord theory that
you and him have a rivalry.
He even sent a super chat about it one time.
you didn't you left out his question on a mailbag, and he thinks you hate him. All right, there you go. She's denying your existence, Alexander.
Wow.
Sorry.
Plus
The
one
drama
for Steven
continues.
Cope
producing.
and seed, Alexander. Cope and seed.
Cope and seed, yes. Well, he did give us another super chat.
Need confirmation.
Yes, we need confirmation, Greg, that this is
Greg on Discord.
Yes, it is
Or
me.
is it Sarah in disguise?
Yeah, I had to. I got logged out of Discord, and Discord makes it absolutely impossible for you to get your password back if you have the second authenticate. So I literally just deleted my old account and started up a new account. So some of the hardcore regulars in Discord don't believe it's me because it's a different name, but it is me. And if you want access to our Discord channel and join in on all the fun,
Transitioning like a pro.
you should become a diehard, just like Keith John, another John, George Bliss, and Jay did today. Welcome to the
George Bliss?
It's about time you became a diehard.
Yeah, finally. I got around to it.
If Jay could do it, anybody could do it.
Yeah.
But welcome to our new diehards. Our diehards every day, more and more people are joining, and why? Because they're getting access not only to the Discord channel where we're doing more stuff in there. You get access to all of our premium content on the website.
Yep.
Rebuild Report, Blackhawks Beat every week, and then you get a free shirt with signing up, and you get or hat if you want the hat instead. If you're a hat guy or girl, you get one of those, and you get 20% off merch. And 20% off tickets to all of our events. So it's worth it. The perks are fantastic. So
I did see someone in our chat saying, waiting on the announcement of the CHGO, from Corey here, loyal listener.
I don't know.
CHGO takeover at the Winter Classic.
I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to grant. I mean, if they're willing to give us a block of tickets for that at cost.
That's a good idea.
But maybe we can get the wheels in motion on some sort of like pregame party.
I've already had conversations with our sales staff and saying, hey, we should definitely
get this book tomorrow.
How about that DraftKings Sportsbook that's attached directly to Wrigley Field?
You know,
sounds like a good idea.
That could work very well.
They do sponsor the show.
Yeah. A couple comments I want to get to. Dan Heinz, White Sox fan, obviously says pick a new location. They already played in Wrigley. The idea here, Dan,
not
and
this
for those
version of Wrigley,
like Dan, is they're trying to make this a spectacle. They're trying to get people to tune in from it. Mm-hmm. And Wrigley Field, whether you like it or you're a Sox fan, is an historic venue that draws people to it every day from spring to sometimes till fall. Yeah. People come to Wrigley Field all the time to see Wrigley Field and to see the area around Wrigley Field or to ice skate at Wrigley Field in the offseason. It is a destination. Yeah. It is a landmark. It is on the par with Fenway Park and Madison Square Garden and all these places. So, yes, of course, they're going to put it there. And does anyone care about bum-ass Soldier Field that's impossible to get to, is uninteresting, and has no history to it? Does anyone care outside of Chicago about Guaranteed Rate Field and its cookie-cutter design? And look, they got great food. I like going to games there. I do. There's no national draw. No one in Denver is going to tune into a game at Guaranteed Rate Field.
Yeah. Yeah, the notoriety of Wrigley Field, the aesthetics of it is really nice. And it's been completely revamped since the last time that the Blackhawks were there in 2009 with not only the stadium, but also the area around it with Wrigleyville and everything. It's completely different. It's probably a little bit more. It's probably easier to host events in that area now that the NHL is trying to do. You can have a fan fest in the Wrigleyville area with Gallagher Way is there, all the new restaurants and stuff. Like it's different. So I get it. I get why they're doing it there. Had a discussion with Vinny Duber today for CHGO Sports Tavern Style that you can check out. Maybe they could have waited until a new stadium was built, either if it were for the Sox or the Bears. But I think
Connor McGard might be retired by then.
right. Well, that's true. But I think as we said, like this is the NHL trying to make money and strike as quickly as possible with this event specifically to turn it around from last year's event to being like we need as many eyes as possible. We're going to get the next face of the league in the event as quickly as possible, and you're going to go to a market that you know is going to attract people. So you're going with Chicago, and the people that are complaining that this is another outdoor game, another Winter Classic for the Blackhawks. Look, the NHL's trying to make money off of this marquee event. So it's either Connor Bedard and the Blackhawks get a Winter Classic, or you start seeing ads on the pants. Which would you prefer? You know,
both. Yeah. And here's something you got to remember: people are like, "Oh, Wrigley Field again." When they drop the puck on this game, it's gonna be 16 years since that game.
Right.
16 years. There are going to be a large percentage of people in the stands that day that weren't even alive when that game was played.
Right.
But they're going to be there in their sweet Connor Bedard Winter Classic jersey that they got for Christmas. They're going to make $1 billion on those jerseys. It doesn't even matter what it looks like.
I'm skeptical and nervous about Fanatics portion of it, but I feel like it's
Bernard jersey.
Yeah, I don't want a Bednard jersey. But I really hope that it is a good, as long as it's a good design, which I think it's hard to do with the Blackhawks to have a bad design.
Right. Unless you use that bird.
Yeah. Well, yeah. But yeah, as long as it's a good design, I think it's going to sell
we tried to do that
very well. Yeah, that's
we
true.
tried to do that once.
Yeah.
Not so much.
My asymmetrical skyline.
I would like to. I'm going to make my official, even though it's not officially official. This is even happening. We know it is, but they have not made it press release official yet.
Yeah.
To the Blackhawks press listening, this is my campaign: make the Winter Classic jersey red.
They haven't had one yet.
The Hawks have worn red jerseys throughout their entire existence. Mm-hmm. It doesn't have to be black and white. It doesn't have to be stripy. Make a classic-looking red jersey. It will pop on the ice. It'll sell like hotcakes and will not look like any of the things you've done before. They've either been white or black for the Winter Classic.
Have the Blackhawks wear red, and the Blues can wear blue.
Awesome. I'm down.
Why does somebody have to even wear white?
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm cool for that. My only thing about this that I'm not like super thrilled about, even though I don't care, it's going to be great. We're going to be able to like cover the Winter Classic as part of the press. It's going to be awesome. That whole week should be amazing. I'm looking forward to seeing if they maybe do some sort of other, like an alumni game, or maybe maybe they get the AHL involved and they can do like Ice Hogs versus Milwaukee the day after. I'd say Wolves, but the NHL hates the Wolves now, so they're probably not.
Well, who's the Blues affiliate?
Well, Springfield. So I don't know if they want to do that, but you could do a little college. You could get Wisconsin and Notre Dame.
Yeah, get Notre Dame to play down here. Yeah,
and Michigan and Minnesota. They did that at Soldier Field. Why not do that again at Wrigley Field, like the day after the Winter Classic?
Hell yeah!
So many things you could do. I just wish they picked another
activities.
I just wish they picked another team, but the stupid Blues.
Yeah,
we've seen the Blues and the Blackhawks play in a Winter Classic. Mm-hmm. The Blues are freaking boring. There's nobody exciting on the Blues. The rivalry, yeah, it's a rivalry, but you don't need a rivalry to sell Connor Bedard Winter Classic tickets in Chicago.
Right. Yeah,
I would have liked a better team. Connor Bedard versus Connor McDavid would have been amazing.
Yeah, that'd be really fun.
Or you could have done something with...
You could have done, as we were saying before the show, you could have done the Blue Jackets.
You could have done the Blue Jackets. You could have done
Adam
Bedard
Fantilli
versus Fantilli and given them, an outdoor game. And they've got some exciting young players. You could have brought the Ducks in. Leo Carlsson versus number 1 versus number 2 from one of the best draft classes ever. Mm-hmm. Put him, showcase it. Showcase some of your other...
Crosby is still on the Penguins. You could have done the Penguins.
Oh, that would have driven people crazy. The Penguins and the... but
no, as long as at least it's not Blackhawks Bruins.
Get the Devils and have Bedard versus the Hughes brothers.
That'd be great.
There are so many options where like the Blues just seems... bleh.
I will not stand for this Robert Thomas... slander
you're
here.
Push me about it. You're gonna push me around.
I'll fight you till 3 a.m. about that one.
And again, you don't need a road fan base to come in here and help sell out the tickets.
Oh.
I think they're trying to do the Cubs Cardinals thing, which I get it, but like, okay, that's cute.
That's a baseball thing.
And now move on.
Yeah.
Right.
It's a baseball thing.
Corey in the chat was saying they might do a they should do a Cubs Cardinals, or they could do a Cubs Cardinals influenced jersey, but that would be confusing because the Cardinals are white and red and the Cubs are white and blue. That'd be backwards.
Just give me a classic old red jersey. Don't overthink it.
Yeah.
Just as someone in the chat said, like, make it red and make the white cream. Cool. Like the cream on a Winter Classic jersey here, or just give it the older. I call it the old haggard warrior head, or it looks sleepy and tired,
smaller, and
the like
a little
one.
more cartoony.
Yeah, and you put the tomahawks down here on the stripes. There you go.
Or do a Winter Classic jersey where the main logo is the tomahawks.
Yeah, you could do that.
They haven't done anything like that yet.
No.
Make that the primary logo and see how people
React
to it.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool to have that as the big logo.
Sure. Yeah, look, whatever they do, we're gonna buy it. Like, let's be honest.
Yeah, most
sure.
likely, unless
It's gonna
completely
sell.
drop the ball. But I don't see that.
Even
happening.
the reverse retros from last year that we saw were like, really? This is it? When you saw them on the ice, they actually looked pretty good.
in my nose.
They weren't as bad as we thought. So
Yeah, that's true.
This is kind of a hard color scheme and logo set to screw up. But
Yeah.
if anyone can do it, it's Fanatics.
Anything with red and black is hard to look bad.
Okay, we got to remember though, Fanatics isn't going to be the people designing the jerseys. They're just the ones that are making.
Oh yeah,
accommodating it.
They'll have say. They'll have say on the designs.
for something like
Adidas,
this,
Adidas had say in the designing
for the
of
reverse.
things.
They'll have a say, like as in like, well, this is going to be a real big pain in the ass to make these. But for something like the Winter Classic, I don't see them having a ton of import. It's going to be the NHL.
It's collaborative.
The NHL is going to be like, this is what we want. Make it happen.
Yeah. Well, we kind of, when we talked to Jamie Faulkner and Danny Wirtz a while back, and it was recorded, there was some comments about like the collaboration with the reverse retros.
Yeah.
And they'll come to them with a little bit of, hey, what do you think of these? And the Hawks can say no, or like, this is more in line with what we're thinking. So then Hawks don't have full autonomy. Adidas didn't have full autonomy. And I'm sure it will be a very similar plan when it comes to Fanatics and the NHL. And
I would think for the Winter Classic, which is not a like brand wide initiative like the reverse retros were for Adidas, that the Blackhawks would have more say. But I'm sure Fanatics will also be like, here's what we can and can't do, kind of thing.
Right. The Blackhawks or the league can come to them and design them. They can be like, no, we can't make that happen.
Right. Yeah.
And then, but this is But I don't think they're going to be the ones sitting there going, all right, we designed your jersey for you. I'm pretty sure the team in the league will come to them first and let them.
If I remember our conversation, which was recorded correctly,
I don't know, it's been so long ago and there's no record of it ever happening.
I think Jamie kind of said, and forgive me if I'm misquoting her, but I think she kind of said like they came to them with the reverse retros and was like, these are our designs. Pick one kind of thing.
yeah, it was like pick one of these three or something like that. Yeah.
So yeah, like I said, I think with the Winter Classic, they'll have more say on what they want to do.
Yeah.
So it'll be fun to see what they end up producing, and I'm sure the Bedard and Celebrini versions will sell like that.
The other thing too, and you know, I don't want to pick on Sox fans, but they might not realize that Wrigley Field in the last 16 years, the whole area around there is totally different.
Same place.
Yeah.
You've got the big screens in the outfields now.
Yeah.
So that they won't have to put their own up there like they did last time.
That blocked me on my rooftop.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is a great view, and then right before face-off, they're like, what? No, I can't see anything.
But you have the whole area around, you have Gallagher
Way.
You have all those new venues around that will be hosting all kinds of things.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if they get, that whole area shut down, the streets closed, and you can do some fun stuff out there. TNT, they're going to be broadcasted. They'll have their set out there.
Is it on TNT?
They'll be in Gallagher Way, yeah.
Is it on TNT?
Yeah.
I'm sure it was this. It
I think
was
that's
the
what Ben
last
said
2
in the
years.
story
Yeah.
was TNT.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think TNT has the rights to that, so
Oh, it doesn't flip flop.
no.
Okay.
Just I think the only thing that flip flops, I believe, is the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah.
But so they'll be out there where you could see the marquee in the background, and you just be able to do so many more things than you could
Right.
16 years ago. And the ballpark is better equipped for bigger crowds.
Right.
There's more bathrooms. The concourse is wider now. You have access to the outfield from the main park, which you didn't have at that point. Like, they have all that space under the bleachers now that they could, put more. That maybe they put, porta potties down there to get even more. So yeah,
more bathrooms, the better.
Yeah, exactly. Especially, I went to the first one in 2009, and we were up in the upper deck. And there was back then there was 2 washrooms up there, and in between periods, going to the men's room when it's 80% men in the crowd. I missed the first 4 minutes of the second period because I was waiting to go to the bathroom. So there could be a lot of improvements to the whole experience.
It'll be a much better experience.
I'll say this as a Sox fan.
Yeah.
I love the Wrigley community way better. Everything around there, the surrounding, everything is better. But if there is one knock that I'll say on Wrigley, there's nowhere to park. I'm coming from the suburbs. I don't want to take the train.
Yeah, I get that.
Well, take the train.
Park,
It's the one
it's just going to cost you $150.
And with all that said, I still think Wrigley would be a much better site. But
Yeah,
still,
I mean,
really wish I could park my car
I have to
somewhere.
say, though, and this is a different show for a different conversation for a different show. Every time I've gone to a Sox game, the parking has been more of a problem than it should be.
They don't have good control over it. It's one line or 90 lines in the one place. It takes forever to
And
get
it
in
seems to the parking policy varies from game to game.
Yeah.
The
It's
one
weird.
Sox game I've been to was not bad to park, but that's just my one
Yeah,
experience.
I mean they do have massive lots. That is an advantage
Yeah.
for sure. Their management of said lots is not great,
Massive lots.
but they exist.
Well, I mean, they don't even let you into the lower level, so why would they let you into the right parking
Right.
lot? So,
Anyway.
that's again another conversation. But
Yeah, just get your spot hero today.
reserve it now. Reserve your spot hero now before they jack up the price.
Yeah, right. Before
$500.
people realize, yeah.
I'm just happy. I'm going to take the purple line to the red line and
Yeah.
be there in 20 minutes.
That's
Nice.
I can't wait. It's gonna be a lot of fun. All right, before we take a break, Jason Dickinson met the media today, and he shared his thoughts on the news and shared his experience because he got to play in the Winter Classic in Dallas against Nashville. So in Nashville against Dallas.
you're right.
Dallas.
Oh, it's in Dallas,
against
right.
Nashville, yeah.
Yes, that's right.
Corey Perry
So-
also played in that game for 3 minutes.
For a minute. Then he jacked someone in the nuts and got kicked out.
Yeah.
Again. So here's Jason Dickinson talking about the Winter Classic and his experience in those games.
I hadn't heard anything about it until this morning, but that's unbelievable. I got to play in the one in Dallas against Nashville, and there's nothing quite like it. You feel like a kid again playing hockey. I think in Dallas it was 100,000 people were there, so it's just a whole different feel. It's unbelievable. I can't really describe it to the guys and the opportunity that's there, but. If it is true, and I believe my sources are pretty credible, it will be very special. And Wrigley, obviously, a very storied stadium. What an incredible place to do it at.
Is there anything you have to do differently in the outside in terms of hockey, just handling the puck and the ice conditions and everything?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I'll actually say in the Dallas one against Nashville, the day before practice, the ice was garbage. It was horrible, and all of us were worried. We were like, this is going to be a very simple game. You're just going to chip and chase. You're not going to be able to make many plays because the puck's just not going to come with you. That next day, the ice was crisp. It was perfect. There was nothing to complain about. So you didn't have to make adjustments. You could play it as if you would any other game. The problem is when it gets really sunny and humid, the ice gets sticky and it doesn't slide the same. So you do have to be a little bit more cautious at times. But we've got some great ice makers in the league that take great pride in what they do, and they try to give us the best product out there.
Jason Dickinson, he was excited. You could tell. I know someone went and asked Zach Sanford about it, and he seemed excited, but might not be here for it.
If Zach Sanford's still playing on the Blackhawks with that, I'm going to be shocked.
That's something. After we take our little break here, that's something I kind of want to address of the people concerned about the roster of the Blackhawks that will potentially be on the ice for that game.
I like that conversation. And before we take a break, hey, are you excited about the Winter Classic?
Yes.
Are you excited about Corey Crawford? If
Yes.
so, let us know by smashing that like button for us, because we've got a lot of people watching and very few of you.
Obliterate it.
I'm shaving the
Yes.
carrot here, and shaving the carrot. Hit that like button for us. It's very, very helpful. So we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll get into that conversation. But just like designing Winter Classic uniforms, you want some help when designing your new kitchen, your new bathroom,
Yes.
your new living room, and the floors are a big part of that. With Empire today, They can help you do that with their shop-at-home convenience, and of course, they've got the right products for your needs with quick and professional installation and a low price guarantee. Empire keeps shopping for floors with a simple, curated product selection. Their philosophy is to help you find what you need and not overwhelm you with thousands of choices and substitutes. What they leave out of their selection is just as important as what they put in. Empire's product team exhaustively combs through thousands of product samples every year to find the perfect styles for you. Shopping for floors at a big box store, that's frustrating. The guy today working in plumbing was in flooring yesterday. There's no experts anymore. Well, Empire, they are the experts. Flooring is all they do at Empire today. And if you're not really sure, you're seeing some samples, but you want to know how it looks in your space, use their virtual floor designer. That's a good way to see how your new floors are going to look in any space. You just snap a picture and instantly see how new floors will look in your room. Schedule a free in-home estimate today. All CHGO listeners can receive a $350 off discount when they use promo code CHGO. Restrictions apply. See empiretoday.com/CHGO for details.
Hey, with all that money you're going to be saving on your new floors, why not put it in your DraftKings account?
Hell yeah.
And cash in big on this weekend's big action in the NFL. If you're looking for a super offer for Super Bowl 58, DraftKings Sportsbook has you covered. New customers can bet on the big game and turn $5 into $200 instantly in bonus bets. Now, I'm not going to tell you how to bet.
No.
But if you were to go into DraftKings right now and look at some of these quick same-game parlays, they have some really fun ones here already pre-built for you. You just kind of scroll through, pick which ones look fun. This one, to me, I think not only has a good chance of happening, but also has pretty decent odds on it, too. This one is called In the Zone, and it is put together because these players scored in the conference championship games, so you're betting on them to score again in the Super Bowl. And it is a 4-leg same-game parlay that pays out at plus 1,000. It is anytime touchdowns from Christian McCaffrey, Travis Kelce, Brandon Ayuk, and Isaiah Pacheco. I think all those players have a good chance at scoring a touchdown on Sunday. So that looks like a fun one. That's where I'm going to be putting my money on DraftKings, and you can too if you want, but that's not my advice. So be sure to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use the code CHGO. New customers can bet $5 to get $200 instantly in bonus bets, only on the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the Super Bowl 58 with the code CHGO. The crown is yours. Deep breath.
Oh, wait, we need the
I'm
timer up?
not ready. I'm not ready.
Oh, okay, good.
Steven with an all-time worst record of getting the timer ready.
I just got some really big news from my friends, and I was distracted.
What's the big news?
One of my friends is gonna have his
this is
first
more
kid.
important.
Oh,
Yeah.
Eric's pregnant. Congratulations.
Hey.
He's going to be a soccer player.
Nice. All right.
Ready?
We're ready to go?
No, I got to go live mode, I guess, on this. That's what the issue's been this whole time.
What's happening? I'm not at 10 seconds.
Okay,
All
I'm
right.
ready when you are.
Gambling.
Keep it rolling.
Keep going.
Same fucking thing happened
Yes!
last time.
I will never lose.
Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER, or in West Virginia, visit www.1800gambler.net. In New York, call 877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY to 467-369. In Connecticut, help is available for problem gambling. Call 888-789-7777 or visit ccpg.org. Please play responsibly. On behalf of Boot Hill Casino and Resort in Kansas, 21 plus, age varies by jurisdiction, void in Ontario. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. See dkng.com/football for eligibility and deposit restrictions, terms, and responsible gambling resources. Fucking guess.
You didn't get it.
Say a name. Say a word, Mario. Gambling.
Just missed it.
That's a horse.
Gambling.
To use a horse racing term, you stumbled out of the gate there.
Sure did. Sure
And
did.
now you're in a glue factory.
Sure am. Yep. Hey, the Blackhawks, they currently have an AHL roster. When they play this Winter Classic, barring injury, knocking on all the wood, it's not going to be a horrible roster. Like we talked about all this offseason coming into the year, looking at the roster at at full health coming into this year, we thought it would be still bad, still in the lottery, but better than last year, at least 10 points better in the standings than last year. But injuries obviously have decimated this team. Taylor Hall essentially missed the entire year.
Yes.
Andres Athanasiou is, we don't know if he's for sure going to play again this season. He's going to miss almost 90% of the year. Nick Foligno's had time out. Seth Jones has had time out. Connor Murphy has had time out. Connor Bedard has had time out. All of these guys that are going to be around next year have missed significant time this year. And that's why you have a roster that has had to, acquire a guy like Rem Pitlick. No offense to him, but he's a 4A player. They had to go and get Zach Sanford off of waivers. Like, that is why this roster looks so bad. So when you look at the Winter Classic next year, you're not going to have these guys that are currently on this roster, hopefully, that are going to be playing that game. You're going to have, hopefully, Taylor Hall, Andres Athanasiou back. You're going to have Jason Dickinson and Nick Foligno and Seth Jones and Connor Murphy and Alex Vlasic and Connor Bedard and Kevin Korchinski and maybe Macklin Celebrini and maybe Colton Dock and maybe Frank Nazar. Like, it's going to be fine. It's maybe Steven Stamkos. You're going to have Peter Mrazek around.
Gunsel.
Like, the roster is going to be fine. It is not going to be Connor Bedard and his merry men of bums. Like, it's not going to be what people are trying to portray what the roster is going to look like for that game. Sure. Is it a playoff contender? No. But you're going to have enough guys on that team, in theory, that you're going to say calling it an AHL roster would be an overreach.
Yeah, you're going to have Connor Bedard, who is another year into his progression. You're going to have Kevin Korchinski and Alex Vlasic another year into their, like, at this point, but if things keep going the way they are, Alex Vlasic is going to be like getting ready to make his first All-Star game appearance at the Winter Classic next year.
Really?
Well, no All-Star game next year.
True. Whatever. He'll
play for Team USA at the Four Nations Face-Off.
Why not? But he's going to be getting the recognition that he's going to be earning by that point. Maybe Frank Nazar is on the team by that point. Yeah. I would think probably. Who knows what kind of off-season acquisitions or trades, but you're going to have these young guys that, and you got to remember when the Hawks had the Winter Classic here the first time, they hadn't done anything.
Right.
They hadn't even made the playoffs yet.
They had the exciting young group.
Right. So it's kind of almost, not quite, it's still like a year or two before that point, but it's kind of the same feel. A team that's on the rise. But the Blackhawks, that was the year they returned to the playoffs and made it to the Western Conference Final against Detroit. Yeah. So they hadn't. It wasn't like it was. They were a Stanley Cup contender at that point. The league recognized, okay, this team is on the way up. We've got this historic venue. Let's make this happen.
Let's make Jonathan Toews and Patrick Kane as young guys the faces of everything against at the time. A very legendary Red Wings team.
That Red Wings team was what that Blackhawks team was going to become in a few years. And that's why, it's almost mirroring the situations.
Right.
Where, not quite, I mean, the Blackhawks probably 2 years from now would be at that same point that team was. Yeah. But it's kind of the same, it has the same feel to it. An up and rising team in a historic venue, in a marquee game. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, they're like Mario said, they're definitely going to be more exciting. And I know, like, Kyle Davidson has sort of shot down the idea of going and getting a massive free agent. It doesn't mean he's not adding anything.
He's not getting a long-term.
He's not going to go out and sign someone to an 7-8 year deal.
And by the way, guess what? You know what helps make Chicago more attractive than it already was? The Winter Classic at Wrigley Field.
Sure.
If there's a veteran looking for another deal, like 1 or 2 year deal,
fun thing to do,
and he's on the fence about Chicago versus Team X, like, that Winter Classic though, that's gonna be pretty cool. I'd like to do that. That's gonna help them bring players in. So, look, and maybe that's the sort of thing where if Frank Nazar's on the fence about going back to Michigan for a year or coming to Chicago, Winter Classic, don't want to miss that.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll come pro.
Payday too, but yeah.
Yeah, the money too. The money's helpful too.
$975,000 helps playing with Connor Bedard, but that could put it over the top.
No, it is an extra little nugget of a recruiting tool for a free agent to be like, oh, being involved in that would be really cool. I think there's more to be said for the potential roster that will play in this game than people are giving it credit for. And again, it is shit on the Blackhawks season, but that time is winding down. So get all your yucks in now, get all your aggravations out.
Yeah.
But this team is still a moneymaker for the league, and in the next couple of years, it's going to be back to, this team is going to be a marquee team for the league.
And let's remember too, the result of the Winter Classic, that's not really what you remember. You remember the experience. It's a regular season game. Win or lose, it's still 2 points.
If it's a great game, that's
sure
extra.
But the Hawks blew a 3-1 lead in 2009. They lost that game 6-4.
Yeah. You know what I remember the most about that game is Ben Eager putting Dan Cleary in the bench.
Yes, that was fun.
There's two things I remember about that game, because I was like, okay, I want to buy a new jersey. I want to get somebody on this team, but I don't know who to get. And I said that day, whoever scores the first goal at the Winter Classic, that's whose jersey I'm getting, and that's when I got my Christopher Stieg jersey.
Nice.
There you go.
So that's when my love affair, my bromance with Christopher Stieg began on that
Quite
day.
a game for Ben Eager too, by the way.
Yeah,
he scored
was
a goal
all
in that
over the
one.
place.
Yeah.
Goals from Versteeg, Havlat, Eager, and Keith for the Hawks. And it was Michael Samuelson, Yuri Hudler with 2, Datsuk, Rafalski, and Brett Lebda. I like looking back at old names I forgot
Chicago
about.
native Brett Lebda.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
How was he not
Marion
on?
Hossa played in that game as a Red Wing.
As a Red Wing.
Yeah.
As did Chris Chelios.
Yep.
One
What's his first
shift?
that year?
2 shifts?
Something like that.
Did he have more beers than shifts?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah. As the story goes.
You
Yeah.
could probably say that about a lot of his games.
Well, that's probably true. That's probably true. No, I'm really looking forward to it. And look, like, as Hawks fans, it's okay to be the villains. The Hawks fans were villains
Yes.
during the dynasty, and now
Embrace
look,
it.
people are going to be, and rightfully so, calling out what happened with Brad Aldrich, and they're going to be calling it out forever. But at some point, the organization's allowed
the people
to move
doing that are not
They
doing
don't-
it
no,
for
they
the
don't- they're not
benefit
advocates.
of no.
They're not. Look, they're just doing it to be mad. And you know what? To keep bringing up somebody's name who was involved in a situation like that just because you don't like the team, it's garbage.
Yeah.
And listen, if you're one of these people out there that are like, oh my God, the league is shoving Connor Bedard down our throats, it's going to be a long 15 years from you.
Yeah.
It's going to be a very long, because this is only the tip of the iceberg.
No, if you need Connor Bedard shoved down your throat, you're not a fan. You should be excited to watch the
Right,
best
yeah.
players play. I don't turn on TNT or ESPN and be like, oh God, Connor McDavid again.
Yeah.
I'm like, fuck yeah, Connor MDavid,
Like,
let's go.
I'm
What's
so
he gonna
sick
do
of
tonight?
seeing Nathan McKinnon. Like,
Yeah,
come
no.
on.
If
Yeah.
So if the Blackhawk haters is going to be a long decade plus for you coming up here real soon.
Yeah.
And bring it on, because I love the tears. They taste so salty and delicious. Make my coffee with them every morning. Just I love that you're mad. Keep being mad. That just it just puts a smile on my face.
Cope and seethe,
Cope
and seethe.
as I've heard.
Yep, make that a T-shirt too. All right, there
Put
is
that on-
hockey coming
put
up
that-
tomorrow
put that
night.
on some toilet paper.
Believe it or not. And we're excited about it. I'm excited to be back at the UC tomorrow night covering an actual game. It feels
I know
like
it's weird to be excited that
ages.
even if
so
it is the
excited.
Minnesota Wild in town, it's weird to feel excited. Like, God, I can't wait to watch the Wild.
By the way,
play.
the Wild on the cover of this month's Hockey News.
Cool.
I'm sure those are
Speaking
flying
of
off
toilet
the,
paper.
I'm sure those are flying off the shelf of the one place you can actually buy those.
So when we come back, we're going to hear from Luke Richardson, who just discussed a number of things, including Tyler Johnson's return. But first, we want to let you know, because you may have forgotten since the show started, that it is getting easier for businesses to switch to electric vehicles. And that's something we can all get behind for the health of the planet and for the well-being of all of us who share it.
Yes, this is something I'm so passionate about. The electric grid is evolving to meet your cleaner energy needs as we all move with confidence towards an electric tomorrow. Whether you have just one delivery van or a whole fleet of shipping trucks, ComEd can help guide you to make the changes that make sense.
Well, why don't you let business owners like Charlie the Bacon Guy and the Hockey Barn and all those great people know what they should do?
Okay, business owners like Charlie the Bacon Guy and the Hockey Barn and all those other people, go to ComEd.com/clean clean.
Clean.
To learn more about the resources, fleet rebates, and infrastructure incentives available that helps businesses go electric. If you own a business, don't wait. Well, you could wait till after this show and then start making your plan to switch to electric vehicles. Good for business, good for the planet, good for all of us. That's ComEd.com/clean.
Yes, that's ComEd.com/clean.
Yes, go now
Clean.
and see how going electric connects us to a better way of doing business and a better future for generations to come, so everybody can enjoy the Blackhawks in an outdoor game until the year 2150 every year.
2150.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
Let's keep going. Connor Bedard the ninth is in another outdoor game. I want to see a Futurama episode where they're sitting there watching the Blackhawks in another outdoor game.
Futurama.
There you go.
On the moon.
That's great. By the way, we saw Bedard today at practice. Luke didn't really talk about him today, did he? I don't think so.
No, because he talked about him yesterday.
Yeah, he was participating in the breakaway drills, like the 2-on-0, 2-on-1 drills
The
where there was no
non-contact.
contact.
Yeah.
And then, if you don't know, the Hawks changed rinks. And you, Mario, me, and Charlie Meliodas were kind of deked by the Hawks, who looked like they were going back to the other rink, like a second switch.
Yeah.
So we go in there, and it's Bedard is out there taking shots, and the coaches are passing him. Brian Keane was out there. I think it was Chris Kunis was out there, too, feeding him passes, and he's just blasting slap shots and
Ripping
wrist
them.
shots.
Yep.
Then Mackenzie Entwistle skates across the ice and bumps into Bedard on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
And then
That's
Nick
why he's got a
Foligno
punchable face.
grabs Bedard from behind in a bear hug and slams him, not slams, but pushes him into the boards playfully. I think Connor's doing okay.
Yeah.
And I stand by
yeah.
my prediction that he will be back before the 6-week mark.
I
Yeah,
100%
I mean-
believe that.
Yeah, you watch him the last 2 days, and he looks pretty much fully functional. Is just not cleared for contact yet. So I think at any point in the next 2 weeks, I think it'd be easy to say, yeah, he's going to be back as a full participant, and that would be just about the 6-week or a little bit before marker. But I mean, he's pestering the doctors to be like, can I get out there, please? I want to take this green jersey off and put on a normal jersey and get out there and play and get back to what he loves doing. So he was on the ice for 2 hours today.
Yeah.
He wants to be out there.
He stayed out late. He was the last guy out, first guy out, last guy in, and we were all kind of hanging out in the locker room like, hey, maybe Connor will talk to us today. And he comes walking in, and that's when they're like, okay, we'll bring Luke to the press lounge. Everybody out.
It was funny. We were all hanging around, and they walked around. They were like, "Who you guys? Are you guys waiting on anyone else?" And we were just like,
Yeah,
"Yes."
give you one guess.
Yes, we are.
And then as soon as he walked in the room, okay, we're gonna get Luke.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody out.
It was wonderful timing.
Yeah, so the 6-week mark would be February 19th. Now, the one road game of the year against Carolina. I think he's back before that, though. There's 3 home games the week before.
Yeah,
Maybe as early as the 13th against Vancouver.
His future team.
Yes, his future team.
NHL fans.
sure.
Can't wait to go there.
So, yeah, if he is not in the lineup, as Charlie says, as long as he's back for the Red Wings game, there's no doubt in my mind he'll be in for our takeover night, the Chelios night. He'll be there. He'll be playing in that game. The sooner the better, because it's just such a different team when he's out there. And it's such a different energy. Like when he comes back, his first game back, that building is going to be buzzed. It's going to be electric. You're going to get that every time he touches the puck. You're going to hear that
rise.
And people are just going to get excited. We haven't had that in that building for a month.
Yeah.
And it's just like.
Well, that Rem Pitlick game.
Sure.
Well, he played in one.
Yeah, he played in one.
He played in a couple.
He had a jersey and everything.
As AJ says in the chat here, says, I pity the goalie for Bedard's first game back because he's going to be letting out a lot of pent up energy. That is true. I mean, think about how much hockey. This is the most hockey he's missed in his career. Even through juniors and everything. So he's gonna want to come back and just do everything he can to get back in the flow of things and just continue to light it up. And I would imagine he's back before the road game.
Yeah, I think we're also maybe we've seen the last of polite Connor Bedard, the teammate. oh, let me get a puck over to you. He is going to be.
Oh, sure, yeah. He's like, I haven't been able to take real shots yet. I'm gonna rip as many as I can.
I wanted to score 35 this year. I only have a few games left to do it. Get out of my way.
Yeah, he was taking real shots today. That's for sure.
Yeah.
He was ripping them, and he looks ready. I mean, of course, the jaw is different from taking the shots, but he was not holding back at all.
Yeah, which is good.
So
it's a good sign.
Knock on wood that he's back sooner than later.
The more he can clench his jaw, the more his bones are fused together. That's what that means.
That's right. All right, why don't we hear from
medical opinion.
Blackhawks head coach Luke Richardson, who met the media after practice today, talked about Tyler Johnson coming back, talked about the Winter Classic, and a whole bunch more.
Do we have Phil's question in there?
And Phil Thompson nearly dies mid-interview, so that's a lot of fun. So give that a listen.
Tyler, good to go then? For
Yeah,
tomorrow?
yeah, he looks great and feels great, so it's exciting for him, and we're excited to have him back.
And Dickinson, good to go?
He is, he's just a maintenance day yesterday. It was just something lingering, but he felt great, he said, in the gym yesterday and then on the ice today, so that was good. And then also I just wanted to mention Megan Hunter. She lost her brother Logan, so we just wanted to send her condolences to her and her family, and she's away with them right now. So we're here for support for her, and unfortunately, it's been a tough year in that department.
Just with the second half altogether, I mean, obviously with the home games, you'd like to build a little momentum. What do you want to see in the second half?
Yeah, we have an opportunity here with 5 games, and then one little break in between, and then another 5 games. It's a big homestand. We've played much better at home obviously this year than the road, and we got to take care of that. And I think playing the same hard-nosed way that we've been playing with some good forechecking and attacking, but we have to bear down. We're kind of trying to be on the players with some fun offensive drills that and even the defensive drills we're doing, we're still mentioning and telling them to look for openings offensively to work on. And then obviously trying to get the power play again. We're going to shift the units around just a bit with Tyler coming back, but working on that. But at least we're going to have lots of practice time in this homestand to try and stay up on all these things. So if we can start games well like we have been and get a little bit more scoring punch, I think we'll do fine and try and create some momentum out of this homestand.
Do you guys think, like, Kershaw and Radish seem to be 2 of your more offensively talented forwards? Like, they seem to have good stretches and stuff, but the pucks haven't gone in for them this year, really. What are you seeing for them? Like, where's the lag of finish?
Yeah, I don't know, what they can do to create more looks. I think they've had both of them had some really good looks on the last road trip, even if we think back just most recently. The Rads put a couple off the post, and Hershey maybe just getting saves at the wrong time or a stick on his shots, or it just doesn't go in. But I think we just try and encourage them to stay positive and know that if they know that we believe in them, I think that hopefully they find more self-belief and a little bit sometimes just making sure we hit the net. I know sometimes we're trying to pick that little corner. I was just talking to Boris today, and he's had some opportunities on some breakaways and stuff, but to stay positive and upbeat, and maybe just take that one extra half step forward and shooting it off that front foot. I think I mentioned that either yesterday or the day before, but getting the puck in between the pipes, making sure we're hitting that net, make the goalie make a save, and we've had a couple of tough ones where it has beaten the goalie and hit the pipe or hit the knob of their stick a couple times in the last road trip, and it just doesn't go in. But you have to be more determined. You can't be discouraged.
With Johnson, do you know where he's going to slot in? Are you going to be conservative with how you use him until he's ramped up?
Yeah, unless something changes between now and tomorrow, I think you'll go with Entwistle and Reichel on the right wing, and he's a versatile guy. He can go anywhere, and if we need to change things up and spark something, he can play a little bit of center. And I know he's played with Kershey and Radish, and that's an opportunity maybe if we have to move things around, to put him there. And if he feels good and he's creating offense, well, maybe then he'll have to go somewhere where we need to add a little bit more offense. And I think on the power play as well, I think he's going to fit in there on the power play well. I thought they zipped it around pretty good today, and he seemed so excited to be back. That sometimes that excitement spreads around, and the guys are happy to have him back. He's a good, smart, heads-up player that makes great plays, and he plays hard. He's not the biggest guy in the world, but he goes to those hard areas and scores a lot of goals there. So, just seeing when we need him, where we need him, and use him as much as he's able to handle. Coming back, being off sometime.
With the last, he's come along so much quicker than probably we expected. Is there a logical next step for someone you'd like to see him continue to progress?
For him or for someone else?
For him.
Yeah, him. I think he's just going to get better and more solid and getting accustomed to being. He's still probably making his rounds in the league on playing guys the first time or second time and making that adjustment. So, he sees all the big players in the big minutes. So. I think he's handled it really well. I find he's starting to have a little more personality come out in himself on the bench and on the ice. Even in the drills this morning, hearing him yelling across to Seth for the puck, and Seth doesn't even have to look. Then it's already off his stick onto his stick in the O-zone. So I liked him even in the power play practice, shooting the puck more. If people are going to focus on Seth and as a shooter, because he's a little more well known on a power play, then that opens up his lane to shoot pucks, and we just have to have guys at the net. So I think his confidence of taking charge and his personality is going to grow, and I think that's probably the next step.
You kind of got into it, but how else do you feel like he complements Seth's game?
Yeah, good. I think they just have to watch. They're such fluid skaters. Long guys with long strides that, a couple times in clips you see both of them going up the ice, and we have to be like, okay, one defenseman at a time, and unless it's the last minute of the game and we need a goal. So things like that, they just have to play off each other. And when one guy goes, you're a little bit verbal to the forwards to make sure that they see it and they know, and someone's going to cover up in that position. So I think that as much as they can use each other, getting out of the D zone and even in the offensive zone, talking to each other and using each other, I think they have to also play off each other when one is going to maybe take charge and go on the offense. If we've intercepted a puck or the weak side D joins, then we can't make sure that we lose both D and on the offensive rush. If we don't score and they come back the other way, we'll be in trouble. So that's where they have to just make sure they play smart. They're also on the ice usually against the top lines of the other team, so they have to realize that they can't put ourselves in danger defensively by trying to push the offense. So I think they both want to try and do so well and add to the offense and help our team score, when we're struggling scoring goals. But I think we got to just make sure we know the time of the game, who's on the ice, and they've been out there for a minute, 10. We can't have 2D stuck in the deep in the O-zone with, let's say, McDavid's line or McKinnon's line on the ice. That's a long way to come back with those guys on the ice.
Just wondering, relate to the Winter Classic, excuse me.
Yeah. Need some wine? Or,
get wine or
maybe just some water.
Yeah, let's start with that. How often you've been to Wrigley Field, and do you have any outdoor game memories?
No, my last outdoor game memory was playing outdoor hockey when I was a kid. So it's an exciting, opportunity. I haven't really been versed too much from the team in the league yet. Just kind of like you guys got bits of news. I actually got it from you guys. So. But it's exciting, and it's obviously next year. But I think for myself to be involved in one of those would be really exciting, and I know the players would always love and appreciate that opportunity.
Was your outdoor experience a neighborhood rink, a lake, or a river?
Mine were always on an outdoor rink, and the Rideau Canal in Ottawa. I've skated that a few times. The last time I did it was very cold. I thought I was doing the smart thing and going with the wind until I realized I had to skate 7 kilometers back into the wind, and it was stiff cold. So it was a reminder to be smart, just like our defensemen. When to go on the rush, right?
Did you know much about Jacob Magna before he came?
I actually coached in the American League. I think when he first broke into the American League, and I remember him and his brother in the American League, and I think it might have been the end of my kind of stint there, and kind of him just starting. So I don't remember him very much, just a few games, and I knew he was the bigger of the two brothers. Other than that, I didn't really know too much of him. But Dallas Eakins coach had him in, I think it was Anaheim's organization. And as soon as he saw that he was coming here, he sent me a text that we're going to love him. He's a character guy, character person. He'll give you all he's got, and that's exactly what he's done since he's gotten here. So it's good to have that from another coach.
There he is, Luke Richardson. By the way, for the record, 7 kilometers is 4.34 miles.
That's a lot.
That's a long.
And that's so he must have done it twice.
Yeah, well, he said he went
back
one
7
way.
kilometers.
That's a lot of skating. 8
miles.
of
Well,
skating.
if you watch the latest Every Shift, which if you've got, I think Michael Evans was in the chat saying it was Luke Richardson still employed. Go watch the latest Every Shift, and you'll see in great detail how Luke coaches.
Oh yeah,
but his workout routine is nuts.
He's a horse, man.
And that horrible cereal he eats.
All brand.
That's a colon blow.
Hey, I mean, if it works. If it works.
I guess it's
hockey
working.
players are nothing if they're not creatures of habit. So he said he's been, on that episode, he says he's been having that for like 30 years.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes.
it works. I hope I look like Luke Richardson when I'm
That's true.
his age.
He is a ripped man. Did he get some new ink, by the way? Or is he just wearing short sleeves more often? I'm noticing
No,
it more.
it's new. He didn't have it down his forearm.
Yeah, I thought
before.
like there's something like right here.
Yeah, I noticed that the other day.
He was
That's
showing it
definitely new.
off.
Yeah, he's got.
Yeah. Usually he has the long sleeve, but yesterday he had the short sleeve. He was showing.
Yeah.
Showing off. I mean, you always got to show off the new stuff.
Of course. If I can never decide on one, I will. All right. So Tyler Johnson's
I mean, he
back
didn't get it
tomorrow.
live on the air on a popular podcast.
No, he didn't. No.
Hey, what?
If
Doors
he ever
open,
wants
Luke.
to, yeah.
We'll do it. We can do it. I'm
Might
sure
be
he
time, might be time to do that again soon.
we'll get a count.
Sure.
We'll get a free tattoo if he comes in and does it.
Why not?
All right, so Tyler Johnson's back. Good news, NHL body.
Yep.
We saw him on power play practice today, just like connecting on passes and scoring goals. I think I looked at Mario. Are they allowed to do that?
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, their very first their very first shift, like they did this sweet cross-eyes one-timer for a goal, and I was like, oh.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, how come you can't do this in the
that more often.
games?
It's amazing.
But I do like Tyler Johnson being back on there, and I kind of like the fact that both Alex Vlasic and Seth Jones are both
Are
on
on
the
the power
top power
play.
play
Yeah,
unit.
I like that too.
That's good. That's gonna, I think, open up shooting lanes for Alex Vlasic, and good luck trying to clear the zone with those two guys on the back end. When
Yeah.
Jones is very good at keeping the puck in, and
A lot of
lot
of length.
and Alex Vlasic's wingspan covers pretty much the entire width of the rink. So should be fun. Let's see what they can do tomorrow night. Hopefully they get a chance to look as good as they did today.
Yeah.
And before we go, we want to welcome, we want to send our thoughts and prayers to Dale Chi-Town. Says, I'm currently liquid fasting pre-colonoscopy. So terrible. All brand colon blow cereal sounds great to me right now. I'll say this, though, Dale. The meal you have after your colonoscopy will be the greatest meal of your life.
I'm sure that'll that'll be rewarding. Yep.
So good luck with all that.
Good luck.
Good for you. Take care of your colon.
Yes.
All right, we're back tomorrow. We got post-game, late night, 8:30 puck drop, which means probably 8:45 puck drop.
To 9
Yeah.
o'clock.
So it's going to be a late night home game.
night.
So join us after the game. Hockey's back, thank God. Hawks and Wild. We'll talk to you after that. But we want to remind you that we are powered by ComEd. It's getting easier for your business to switch to electric vehicles. Learn more at ComEd.com/clean. If you haven't yet, please smash that like button for us.
Yes.
We'll talk to you tomorrow on a CHGO Blackhawks podcast.
We all silly like the mayor.